Hello there, App Spy viewers. My name's Peter, and I've got a hands-on video for you. This time it is with Earthcore Shattered Elements. It's called Earthcore CCG in the Canadian App Store at the moment. It is currently in soft launch, and it is a card game. So let me show you how this game plays. I'm going to go first. So I'm going to chuck down my Earth Goblin, and I'm going to hit enter. My opponent is going to play, and my opponent has the opposite side of the board. So they've used their Goblin Warrior, and they've moved it. And so at the moment we're in what's called a deadlock. Essentially, each of the cards is aligned to one of three factions. Certainly, there's only three factions that I've seen so far. I'm about 20 minutes into the game, not massively far through the game because it is quite tough. But these three factions are essentially water, like the Water Goblin, earth, like Druid Devotee, and the Fire Goblin in fire. And the whole point is that each of those elements works differently. Water is absorbed by earth, so that's a good play by my opponent. Fire is quenched by water, and earth is scorched by fire. So let's see what we can do next. Let's chuck down a Druid Devotee. Why not? Let's do that. End our turn. It's our enemy turn. They're going to do that. We've got one last chance, and I think what we're going to do is use one of our special moves. So this is Seed and Seed, and this allows me to change my current card, my Druid Devotee, into Dust, which is essentially a element-free card and will always lose, but can change any card of its choosing to the Earth property. So I'm going to do that to my Water Goblin. So there we are. My Water Goblin is now in green. My Druid Devotee would definitely lose, but it was going to lose anyway against the Fire Goblin, so that's not too much of a problem. And now everything is going to be in deadlock on the left-hand side. So they're in deadlock, and as you can see, just beneath them are numbers. So we've got 6 and 6, 8 and 6. That is risk, and risk is really important in Earthcore. And I'll explain to you why. Now, I've unfortunately had to automatically play a crazed rogue, which is a right pain in the butt, but there we are. That's not too much of a problem. We'll figure out how we're going to beat this person. So they've played a Water Goblin. Now, there is a X2 risk multiplier. This means that hopefully they'll damage, twice the amount of risk, basically, meaning that I should probably take 12 damage from this attack, which would be a real pain. But I am not completely defenseless myself. I'm going to attack the Fire Goblin with a Water Goblin. The water will beat fire, so that's useful for me. End the turn there. And the Fire Goblin's there, so I'm going to pop down my Blue Guardian. My Blue Guardian has an extra move, Defend, -3 risk to adjacent cards, minimum 0, so I can't really use that at the moment. So that's not too much of a problem. We'll hit end turn. I think we're going to come off better than our opponent here. So we do that, and we deal 12 damage. So they've gone down to 18. They've dealt twice the amount of 6, so that's 12 damage on us, so we're equal pegging. And sucks to be you, we're taking another 6 health off of you on that one. And then the risk has turned round back in my favour again. But of course it's now my turn to play cards. So I'm going to put down my Risk Guardian. I'm going to pop you... yeah, I'm going to pop you there, I think. And that is a really good play there. So I think what I'll do instead is put my... let's put down the Fire Goblin and end the turn. And they've just popped down water, so let's put down another fire, and then I'm going to use this special move, -3 risk. So it lowers the risk, and so if we do lose, then we don't lose by much. So that's actually, it is actually quite a cool card, the Blue Guardian, with a decent move, and kind of useful because we're going to get our butt kicked. So that's half that risk, so that was actually a really useful card to move and place in there. Like I say, I'm going to show you, even if I lose this, hands-on videos aren't just about me showing off. The game is really, really tough, by the way, and I'm not just making excuses for how bad I am at it. Let's pop down the old Fire Scout. Now, the Fire Scout has a really useful move, but do we want to use it now? I don't know if we do. What does the Ice Rogue have? Maneuver. Switch places with your chosen adjacent card. Ah, that could be useful. I think what we'll do then is put down our Fire Scout. So the Fire Scout, when we play it, can see at the top, you'll see that little thing there, we can see that they have 3 cards left, obviously, because you've only got 4 cards in a hand, and it's blue, green, and blue. So we know that they're going to play water or earth next turn. So we're fine. We're happy with where our fire scout is. So we'll hit end turn there. Now they've changed that round. So they've, the water goblin's there. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. We're all right with that. What we'll do now is place our ice rogue just here, and I can show you one of the maneuvers. I'm going to use that maneuver with the fire scout, move that out of the way, and it's a deadlock instead. So hit end turn. So it's really cool in so much as there's a deadlock and it's mounting up the numbers underneath the cards, and I could, if I wanted, change the strategy round, dominate my opponent at the very last moment and end the turn. Or I could have been really smart and used the fire scout in the other slot, change both of those rounds. I think that probably would have been a better play. So maybe this isn't so hard. Maybe I'm just awful. Who knows? Who knows? I struggled with the tutorial, I'll be honest with you. So let's have a quick look. We've got to play this one, so we'll see what Elf Captain has. For every earth card in your slots, deal 3 damage to your opponent. That's quite useful, so we'll do that. And we'll end turn there, see what they play. They've leapt over, good for them. We'll use the Druid Devotee just here, and end the turn. And I think we'll play our Water Goblin just there, and end the turn. We've only got 4 health, remember? Yes, I see. So, I think this is going to work out quite badly for us. Let's use Seed and Seed and change these over. Changes Druid Devotee to Dust, which means it will always lose. But on the right hand side, I'm going to absorb that water. So is that going to work out well for me? I don't think it is. There we are, look, we lost health. The card plays from left to right. The board plays from left to right, so obviously I lost there, which is a bit of a pain. But that's okay. I've built up some battle rewards. I lost in 5 rounds. I lost my 9 HP. I can try again, or I can modify my deck. And that's the other big part of Earthcore. It's a free-to-play game. It is currently soft-launched in Canada, and you have different decks depending on which alignment you kind of go with. There's rogues, warriors, and a third one that I completely forget at this point. You've also got your currencies in the bottom corner. And you can craft new cards to make really big, powerful, multi-skilled cards. It's a really cool game. The presentation is lovely. I love the art of these things. It really is absolutely beautiful in spots. Like, it's just, I mean, it obviously is inspired by stuff like Hearthstone and Magic and even Pokemon CCG. But it's just, the art is really lovely, and if you're going to borrow ideas, you may as well borrow from the best, and it does that. The art is really nice. The kind of element stuff works really well. The really cool thing is obviously all of the skills that change up the way that the game plays. And yeah, it's really neat. Like I say, it is in soft launch at the moment. It is really tough if you're not used to card games, and I'm not massively used to card games. Then yeah, you might struggle a little bit to begin with. But there's a decent tutorial in there as well. So there we are. That is Earthcore Shattered Elements. It's in soft launch at the moment. And if you grab it, let me know in the comments below. This is Peter with AppSpy.com. We review, you decide.